What's up, people? Abdominals. The topic of the day is abdominals. You all know the Swiss ball. You've all probably used the Swiss ball. Today I'm going to address the form on top of the Swiss ball. So what you want to try and do is start by sitting on top of the ball. Then move so that most of your body is balanced right on top of the middle. So as you can see, I'm already starting to utilize the core. So the ball never moves. You'll see this a lot in the gym where people is mostly on one side and then they roll back and they roll forward. There's no activation. I'm just utilizing the ball to move from one end to the next. So what you want to try and do is spread your weight, distribute it equally. So your midsection is the middle point on top of the ball. So already I'm activating to try and balance on top of the ball. If I'm not activating, either I'm going to go this way or that way, or side to side. Now without moving the ball, you crunch on top of it. Stretching the abdomen, crunching the abdomen. Full range of motion. So you want to open your core and you want to close it. Fully open and extend, crunch and close. So the ball is not moving. I'm moving on top of the ball. And notice I'm not going forward and backwards. I'm not doing this. You're trying to go from here straight up to the ceiling. Because then your lower abs gets most of the work. If you're going to do this, it's pretty much just the upper part of your abdomen that's doing the exercise. Slow it down. Aim for start with 3 to 4 sets, 10 reps in a set. And like I said, use the middle point. First find the middle point. So you should be able to float if you're on the middle. And once you've established that, that in itself is a workout. Stretch, crunch, stretch, crunch. Give that a shot.
Hi guys, we want to train the transverse abdominis, the lowest part of the abdominal muscle. So you want to try and get hold of it. It comes in because we stand like this. This is an exaggerated way, but we stand belly out, spine crunching, and that causes a whole lot of issues in the posterior chain. How to activate it is come down, place a towel just so that you can see what you're doing underneath the belly button. So as I lie normally, my back will be slightly arched and I can move the towel as my back is not holding on to anything. Tip the tailbone so that it faces forward towards your ankles and then up. As you do that, this lower part of your abdominals become initiated, activated. Try and sustain that. As you see, you can't move the towel now. I release and I can move the towel. I activate and I can't move the towel. The activation of the abdominal structure, the lowest part. Once you've got that established, and take your time in that, breathe through the diaphragm and the upper chest so that the abdominals, the lowest part, stay flat. Lift one leg up and see if you can sustain the pressure in the mat to the spine. Lift the other leg up. Still active. And then you can take it deeper and extend even more. Pull it back one by one. So you rerun the path backwards. No rush here, very strong. And I reactivate every time because this tends to happen as much as I lie, it will happen. Keep it active, keep it tight. Open up, and then you can extend and make this more and more difficult. We'll show you more advanced ones as we move through.
Alright guys, you all know these, you've seen it in the gym, hanging leg raises. So let's take this from the top. If you're a beginner, put your arm nice and deep so that you get a shorter lever. If you're a little more advanced, move it more to the front, it makes it a little more difficult. About shoulder width apart, so you have nice space. Now, what I see most people do is, as soon as you initiate the set, people drop to here. And you want to work here, which in essence, you want to start here. You want to already activate and group all of your core and upper muscles together, give you a stable platform. Second thing you need to focus on is your hips. So as you hang here, you want to tilt the hip to activate the lower ab. If you're just doing this, you're pretty much just training your hip flexors, these things. So many times people will tell you, my legs is on fire, but I can't feel my abs. It's because you're simply training your hip flexors. So before you even start the set, pre-contract the hip lift, then you do the crunch, and it stays there. So a big portion of this exercise to work lies in your pelvis tilting. Otherwise you're not going to get the proper form or the proper contraction in your lower abs. So first, hang high, get yourself nice and tucked. This is where your form should be. And then second tip, the pelvis has to tilt. So just look at the picture. My pelvis is off now, and there I contract the pelvis. And from that platform, that's where you work. Then it's pretty much just lower abs. So this could be potentially the best lower ab exercise, or you're not going to feel it at all. And that's all determined by the activating of your pelvis. So try that out. Pelvis tilt, hang up high. 3 to 4 sets. Start off easy, 10 to 12 reps. Try and not use your hip flexors to do the movement, the lower abs.
So in creating a deeper space in terms of transverse abdominis activation, keep the towel underneath your belly button, so to speak. Make sure it's not, you can't pull it out. Keep this active. Press your belly down into your spine, hook the back of the belly button into the spine, lift the tailbone so it faces your ankles, and then point it towards the ceiling. Deeper activation is now you start including the rest of the core, which is, for us, the core is the transverse abdominis, the six-pack, your spinal erectus at the back, your deep and your upper obliques, sometimes even the lats, and then the glutes. Keep it up, and then pull your elbows towards your knees, not down, pull it towards your knees, making the crunch effective. Your head should not be active. You should not feel this in your neck. If it is, go back to the previous one and stay there till you can actually activate the transverse abdominis. And from there again, you create deeper depth, keeping the spine down, keeping it flat, keeping your belly button attached to the back of the spine. And once you've got this, then you can extend one leg. Take at least one breath in each extension. Draw back. Keep the activation so the shoulder blades are up and off the mat, and the belly button is pressed into the spine. And then release. At first, do one rep at a time until you're able to sustain that pressure of the top abdominal structure into the lowest part of the spine. Think of taking a hook and hooking the back of the belly button into the spine and keeping it there, keeping that activation. It comes with practice, it really does. The reason for these exercises is to try and create postural correctness in the body. So we don't lie onto the back of the spine and create pain, create pressure, create inflammation in the lower central nervous system, the lower nervous system, and also the structural skeletal system. This is how we stand. This is how we stand in a queue. This is how we stand when we're waiting for somebody, picking something up, that sort of structure. You want to create that space. So you draw in, and that comes with training, practice, the transverse abdominals. Suck your belly button in. Slightly, you'll feel the glutes automatically become slightly activated, so do the quads. The stance then becomes more important. You're standing balanced between the baby toes and the big toes, leading triangularly back into the heel. And the openness of the shoulders is evident because I can now hold myself up. So these practices, these trainings that we do is for functionality, for postural purposes, so that we can move through our daily life without creating an inhibition of movement, the slouch that happens, the roundness of the neck, the shoulders, the crunching of the elbow, the shoulders, and posturally become easy to move and strengthen yourself towards that space.
So the tip to take away, focus on your pelvis even when you're standing. So you're standing in a queue waiting. As the time progresses and you're getting more and more fatigued, you'll start noticing you're leaning. That's the pelvis thought. Reactivate yourself even in everyday life when you're sitting. Become aware of what you're doing with your pelvis to activate your lower core. Once you activate this, the pelvis automatically rotates where it's supposed to be. That's what she was talking about, the glutes. Most people, I don't have glutes. It's because it's not active. Once you activate the pelvis, the glutes automatically are active. They are tight, they are on. So focus on that and become aware of that when you do the exercise. See where's your pelvis. Is your pelvis rotated in the right or wrong direction? Fix that before you start the set, because you'll get much more results and effect from the actual exercise if your pelvis is in the correct position. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those people, you can do 1,000 sit-ups and nothing's happening. You're not experiencing what someone that is activating their pelvis is experiencing. So focus on pelvis. And then sets and reps. Look, if you're starting out with this, 3 sets will be more than enough. 10 to 12, you can push it to 15, but after that you stretch the sets a bit. You go 15, 20, and once that's easy to do, then you progress to another set. But start off with 2 to 3 sets. That'll be enough, sufficient. 2 to 3 times a week is good. You can start with that. Don't train abs every day, because like any other muscle, it's a muscle that needs rest to repair. So you don't want to pound it. And definitely be mindful when it comes to adding weight. Most times it's not necessary, first of all, and secondly, because it's a muscle and you're going to add weight, your abdomen and the ab muscles is going to grow because it's a muscle. And if that happens, you stand a chance to get a broader waistline because you're building the muscle. So if you don't want a broader waistline, eliminate weight. Just use your body, it's enough. And then you go for higher repetition to actually cut and define the midsection rather than build it and stimulate muscle growth in it. And yeah.
So if you want adaptation, create activation within whichever fiber you're working in. This is particularly functional and important for our posture, our everyday life.
Okay guys, thanks for watching. Apply this to your ab routine, see how it goes, comment below, let us know if it works for you. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace out.
Take care.